Hey guys, new video, an impressions video, and this is coming to you a bit quicker than I imagined. Anyways, the game in question, I don't have a copy with me because I played this on PC on Steam. South Park: The Stick of Truth, a pretty anticipated game for people that are huge fans of the show. It's been getting pretty good reviews. There's a lot of people say there's technical issues. I'll talk about that later, but I've been looking forward to this game quite a bit. South Park, I'm a pretty huge fan of the show. I don't watch it as much as I used to. I might catch an episode here and there, but back in high school, I was obsessed with it. Like I bought seasons 1 through like 8, I think, like all at once, and I just binged through all of them, just nonstop all throughout high school. I was just really obsessed. I feel like the show kind of took a downturn in quality at around like season 10 or so. The show's still good, like right now, but it's a bit more hit and miss than it was. Like season 3 to 8, if you need like a, the peak of South Park, I'd say like watch every episode in season from season 3 to 8. That is when the show is at its best. I absolutely loved it. So, needless to say, I was pretty excited for this game because not only is it a South Park game written and kind of like the script is done by Matt Stone and Trey Parker. They're kind of in control of the game. Obsidian's making it, and it's a turn-based RPG. I mean, this is like a dream game for me. Like turn-based RPGs are probably one of my favorite types of games, and then it's South Park, one of my favorite TV shows. Of course, I'm very excited for this, and it turned out great. It's fantastic. This game's awesome. I'm so glad it turned out great. But story. Well, let's talk about the story first. I'm not going to spoil too much. In fact, I almost don't want to talk too much about it. Basically, you're a new kid in town, and you kind of get thrown into Cartman's kind of group of his friends, and they're kind of playing wizards and warriors, kind of. And that's about it. I don't want to say any more than that because this storyline gets crazier and crazier. It's just outrageous. And it's hilarious. That's what you need to know. If you're a fan of South Park, you'll love the humor here. Yeah, a lot of it's over the top. Some people might be offended by it, but it's always funny. It's always witty. It's, the satire is pitch perfect. I love how it makes fun of a lot of video game tropes as well. That's the main humor in this game. Of course, you've got like a lot of the over-the-top raunchy stuff thrown in there as well. But it's very funny. It's by far the funniest game I've ever played. Two sections in particular, I'm not going to spoil them, but oh my god, like some of the stuff I can't believe they got away with. Because the show, you can't have swearing, they like bleep out swearing, they can't go too far. With this game, they're kind of given free reign, so I mean, some of the stuff is pretty out there, it's pretty crazy. Like it's hard R-rated stuff, like stuff you'd see in an R-rated movie, like the South Park movie. Actually, this game even goes farther than that. If you've seen the South Park movie, but the storyline, it's crazy, it's over the top, it's fantastic. It's mainly like that, and the South Park stylings are mainly what are going to get you through the game. Audio wise, it's all the voice acting is done by Matt Stone and Trey Parker. All the voices are pitch perfect like they are in the show. The voice acting's really good. It's really funny. The music is it's hard to describe the music, but it fits with the game. I can't really describe it all that well, but it definitely fits with the game, and it's good. The music's good. So yeah, presentation-wise, like this game is amazing because of the visuals. This game looks and feels exactly like the show. The cutscenes are like you're watching an episode. Even playing the game is like an episode. It's crazy. Like how much this looks and feels like South Park. And if it weren't for that, this game would be a big failure. But thank God. And like the town, they've set up the entire town of South Park in this game, so it's really cool to see where certain buildings are. If you've watched the show, references, they're all over the place. Whether it be some of the collectibles, Chim Pokemon are a collectible that you find. Almost every character in the show is in this game as like a Facebook friend. Yeah, there's like a Facebook type thing in this game, that will lead us to the gameplay. Basically, we'll talk about not the battle system. We're not going to talk about that yet. Basically, the game kind of plays out like a lot of RPGs. There's a bunch of side quests, and then there's a main quest. And you can fully explore this town. There's fast travel. It's really easy. Like, the town's not too big, but I found it's just big enough. Like, you'll never have to walk too much, but you can go into, like, everybody's house, open drawers, and pick up items. You can equip your character with like different armor and weapons. So there's that. There's a bunch of junk you can find, but each junk item is like a reference to the show. The junk's mostly for selling at the stores, but it's really cool to go through the items and read all the descriptions. All the weapons and armor are like real life items because the kids are playing. Like it's grounded in reality. This game, which is so it kind of reminds me of Earthbound in a way. In fact, Trey Parker said in an interview like Earthbound was the main inspiration for this game, and that's awesome. Earthbound's one of my favorite games. And you can definitely see that with the Stick of Truth. The side quests are really fun, really engaging. There's not too many of them, and I beat them all. I did all them all, except for some of the collectible side quests, just because it's the thing you needed a guide for. I might go back and do that, but all like the main side quests I did. So there's actually a lot of side content in here, and I definitely recommend doing all that because there's tons of humor with all those sections as well. You can run around the town. There's environmental puzzles, whether it be in like the kind of dungeon areas or some of the side quests where you can kind of like shoot parts of the background and kind of interact with parts of the background to kind of progress. I don't want to spoil too much of that stuff, but that's like the main form of gameplay other than the battle system, and I actually liked that kind of stuff. You could kind of use the environment to your advantage to either progress through the game and solve puzzles, or to actually take out enemies without actually fighting them. So that kept things interesting. And you're constantly getting new abilities to interact with the environment. So I thought that was interesting. The Facebook thing, like I mentioned before, you can each character you meet kind of gets added to your Facebook friends list, and you'll have like messages being sent to you from friends, and a lot of them are hilarious. And in fact, the whole menu system is kind of like the Facebook kind of thing, which I thought was very funny and very charming. So there's that too. The battle system. It's turn-based, almost like Paper Mario. There's some timing stuff thrown in here. So if you attack an enemy and press A right before you're about to hit the enemy, you'll do extra damage. And if enemies try to attack you and you press A before they attack you, you can block some damage. A lot of the special abilities are like doing different kind of quick time event type things in battles. You can get some summon abilities from different characters. I don't want to spoil what those are. But the one thing is that was kind of annoying with them. I mean, you don't have to use them too much because this game's pretty easy. I'll talk about that in a bit. But you use a summon once, and then you have to go back to that character in the town, talk to them again, and get your summon again. You can only use one summon per day. That was kind of annoying, but it doesn't really matter too much because the summons you're not going to need to use them as crazy as they are. You'll want to see all of them at least once, but they're not something you're going to want to use because the combat itself, it's pretty simplistic and it's easy. Even on the hard mode, I'd say if you're looking for any kind of challenge, play this game on a hard mode. It's still easy on hard mode other than a few bosses. I think the middle of the game was the hardest for me. By the end game, though, some of my abilities were so overpowered, it was a joke. The final boss was ridiculously easy. You're given so many items, so many potions. You're constantly picking up potions from enemies. And you can use a potion per turn and then fight in the same turn as well. So it really makes things easy. And then you have your partner character from a certain amount of characters that you can choose as your partner. And they get to attack too and use potions. It's almost like they give you too much to work with. But another little thing with the battle system, like enemies can have like countering stances. Like a riposte stance or like a reflecting stance. So if they're reflecting, you can't use a bow to attack them. You're going to have to go melee and vice versa. And there's status effects you got to take note of. So it's not the most simplistic battle system out there, but compared to like true RPGs, yeah, it is. Now, though, I kind of liked the way they had things set up because honestly, I don't think I would have wanted a really complex and difficult battle system. I think that kind of would go against what they're trying to go for here with this game, which is a very lightweight kind of RPG, but with the South Park influence, the South Park humor. And with that, they succeeded greatly. I mean, the battle system's fun. I mean, unless you're looking for like a hardcore challenge, but I don't think you should be playing this game for that, really. But I will say, normal mode and easy mode, don't play those. They're way too easy. But the middle part of the game, there were some bosses that gave me trouble. Like, I died playing the game. It's not like I didn't die. But it is pretty easy, and it is pretty simplistic. But it remains engaging throughout. The level cap is like only level 15, and that I've got to the cap like right before the end of the game. So you'll be hitting that cap way before the end of the game. But you can still actually kind of grind out enemies. Enemies will like respawn on the map, so you can keep kind of fighting them again. Now, this game is pretty short, I'll admit. It's a short game. I finished it quicker than I expected to. My in-game time said 11 hours. Now, I don't think they count cutscenes because I feels like I played a lot longer than that. My Steam clock also says like 17 hours, so... but I did leave the game running for a while, so I'm going to say it's close to like 12 to 15 hours, and that is actually doing all the side quests. But there is still the collectibles if you want to go for that, and there's all the achievements too if you're into that. So yeah, there is that. And I will say, if you're a huge South Park fan like me, if you're a huge RPG fan, it's worth the $60, hands down. If you're not too big into RPGs, or you're not too big into South Park, or if you're like casual fans of both, or even if you're a hardcore RPG fan but only a casual fan of South Park, then I'd say either rent it or wait for till it's a bit cheaper, like $40 or so. I kind of hate saying that because this does feel like a game you really need to play, but if you're not into South Park, you're not going to get anything out of this. I mean, it is made for South Park fans. As far as negative things I could say about it, though, there's not really much. I think the only thing really was like the blocking. Like the timing-based attacks aren't quite as satisfying or as... I don't know, they feel a bit off if you compare it to like Super Mario RPG. Like a lot of times when I tried blocking, it feels like I didn't get it, like I still get hit, but it felt like it wasn't my fault. I don't know. The timing feels a bit iffy. I don't know. Maybe I just suck at the game, but I don't know. It doesn't feel all that satisfying, the blocking. The attacking though does, getting those perfect attacks. I forgot to also mention like weapons have like add-ons you can equip to them. You can like equip different things that give like bonus effects. Also, you have the classes too. There's warrior, mage, thief, and Jew, and they have different abilities, but you can kind of equip the same weapons. And there's like magic points and stuff like that. They call it PP. But basically, that means you can choose a mage, but you can still end up being a warrior. I picked warrior myself. I think most people are going to choose Jew, and I kind of do wish I chose that. But warrior gets pretty overpowered later in the game. But yeah, other than that, technical issues. Apparently the console versions are plagued with bugs. Some reviews have mentioned like a lot of them, but some haven't. I don't know, it seems very inconsistent. Like some people that play the game get a few bugs and some don't. I've heard there's like stuttering in the PS3 and Xbox 360 versions. The PC version, it was perfect. Honestly, I didn't get a single bug or glitch, which is pretty crazy for an Obsidian game. They're known for bugs and glitches, but this ran flawlessly. You know, maybe it's because it's the PC version. I have heard it's the best, and I'm playing on a gaming PC. I'm not playing on a weak computer, so maybe that's the case, and because of that, I'll actually recommend the PC version. You can play it with a 360 controller. Of course, if you don't have a gaming PC, go with one of the console versions, but so, I don't know, the technical issues, I don't know, it seems a bit random, but even then, I don't think they'd be severe enough, and from what I've read from reviews, they're not severe enough to really hamper your enjoyment of the game too much. So yeah, that's about it for Stick of Truth. Fantastic game. I wish it maybe lasted a bit longer, because now I gotta find another game to play until Dark Souls, although I think I might go back and get the rest of the collectibles and see what else I missed. But yeah, if you're a huge South Park fan and an RPG fan, buy this game. It's amazing. So glad it turned out great. Anyways, that's it, guys. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.